What scalability constraints exist on the Encanvas platform?
Scalability is basically limited by the hardware capacity. Canvas platform has been written to be very efficient, very lean and mean, and just however the app fabric is deployed, it grows according to the hardware.
There are no technical limits?
Broadly speaking, no. The Encanvas platform will scale with the hardware and with the Windows platform. So what the Windows platform can support, we can support also. What we do tend to find is that in practice, potentially the data sources might have capacity limits. These sorts of considerations come into play far quicker than we would reach any sort of hardware limitations.
Even without technical limits, are there actually governance challenges when it comes to deploying lots of applications in lots of sites?
Governance actually works really nicely in the App Fabric platform. Each server has different private clouds that are side by side, and so you can have governance across those. And then governance within a private cloud, looking at a certain app fabric, is so easy that actually at all the different levels, governance is really, really easy to achieve.
So how many app fabrics or applications potentially could you have?
Absolutely as many as the hardware will support. Could be many, and these can be big app fabrics or small app fabrics, all sitting side by side on the same Encanvas cloud instance.
And I can have multiple applications per app fabric?
Yes, that's exactly how we've architected the platform.
Andrew, I know you're very excited about the Hyper plugin that's been developed in the last few months. What is it?
The Hyper plugin is a plugin that can be slotted into many different areas of the Encanvas platform. So what we're looking to do is, whilst retaining the core Encanvas ethos of codeless, so easy, flexible and quick, we nevertheless recognise that sometimes one will want to do specific things that aren't catered for by the general platform. So for this, we've developed the Hyper plugins, so you can plug in design elements, data sources, logic components, all of these different kind of things through use of the Hyper plugin technology.
I appreciate, Andrew, that Encanvas is code light, at least if not codeless, but some people still want to program, they still want to use script. Are those possibilities open to them?
Yes, very much so. So through the Hyper plugins, developers can use their existing skills such as C#, in fact any .NET language, custom DLLs, data source languages, web technologies, CSS, Java, all of these sorts of things. They can use those skills through the Hyper plugin and just slot them into the Encanvas platform.
When it comes to using the technology platform you're providing, am I making a choice between Visual Studio as a developer or Encanvas?
Encanvas and development environments such as Visual Studio sit beautifully side by side. So by developing with Visual Studio towards a Hyper plugin, these then just fit perfectly into the broad Encanvas app fabric architecture that provides so much of the base platform required for an application.
And if I am a developer, why might I want to consider using Encanvas with Visual Studio in that type of development environment?
If we take the example of somebody who's developing, for instance, an AI algorithm, they can develop and target their entire focus towards just that algorithm and very specifically however they want to develop it, let's say Visual Studio. But then so many other considerations that inevitably arise with an application, the security, the user management, browser support, just everything, those are completely taken care of by the Encanvas platform, and they are merely 100% focused on their real value add, which is that core component that they are developing.
What is a data connector?
A data connector is the bridge between a wide range of data source and the Encanvas app fabric. So when we've configured the connections within the canvas, these data connectors are the components that actually go out and fetch or return the data to and from the data sources.
Does that mean a data connector is an API?
It's more the case that the Encanvas data connectors are designed for use within the Encanvas app fabric. It may be that sometimes the data connector will make use of an API, but technically speaking, they're not themselves APIs.
What range of choices are available for the data connectors you provide?
We have a wide range out of the box, everything from simple flat files such as CSVs, spreadsheets, XML, through things like web services, all the way to the big, heavy database backends and office systems. But then authorized partners can then also develop their own data connectors using Hyper plugins.
Andrew, if I've already got a user interface that I'm happy with and I want to embed Encanvas into that environment, are there any possibilities open to me?
Very much so. And expansibility and flexibility is very important within the Encanvas platform. So within the platform, we've got the hyper plugins, but then we can always host an Encanvas app fabric within another environment, or vice versa. Another environment could be within Encanvas app fabric, or sometimes things will move from an app fabric, be passed to an external system, and then brought back into the app fabric, which is another way of bringing in flexibility and customization. Encanvas sits upon Microsoft Windows and the .NET framework. This means it can be deployed to a wide range of environments, such as the various cloud platforms, or indeed hosted on a local server. The Microsoft platform is so well understood by organizations, and in many ways it's one of the industry standards. What this means is that organizations are familiar with it and they can trust the scalability and resilience when, for instance, deployed upon a cloud platform.
What has your approach been to support of browsers?
We aim to support as wide a range of browsers as possible. And it's actually one of the things about the Encanvas platform is with developers developing just the business logic through the canvases, they don't have to worry about browser support. They don't have to restrict themselves to a certain browser or certain versions. And of course, when new versions of browsers are released, the Encanvas platform is then updated to support those browsers also.